What is up, my fellow gamers? In today's video, we are going over the heroic trial and the elastic challenge. This is part of the other update, new game modes that we got over the last couple days. Yesterday, we went over the reversal showdown, so go ahead and check that video out if you missed that. Let's go over the heroic trial. So this one's pretty simple, this part. The elastic challenge is a bit more tricky. We're gonna go over some tips and tricks for that. We're gonna jump into an actual challenge really quick. But for heroic challenge, you're pretty much just coming in here and it's just a boss battle. It's pretty simple. You're just trying to deal as much damage as you can to this specific boss in the allocated time, which is like what, 25-30 seconds, a little less than 30 seconds. Then you're going to get a bunch of different treasures. My number one suggestion for the best class is always going to be the archer class, and that's because it is the best single target damage dealer in this game, and specifically it's amazing for bosses, and you're going to face bosses endlessly in this game. Anytime we get some kind of new update, new game mode, new challenges or something, it's typically always a brand new boss. There's a lot of boss content in this game, which is why I always suggest choosing the archer. So if you've picked one of the other classes, you can come in here, go to your class area, and you can change your class. So maybe you're trying out the mage or the warrior, and you're just kind of like, I feel like I'm not really doing too well with them. Come in here, go ahead and reset and try out the archer class. I personally suggest the archer class. I think it's amazing. And before we jump into the elastic challenge, we got to give a huge shout out to our sponsor, Aptoide. Let me show you how you can save some money in this game. Aptoide is an Android app store that offers many benefits. The first one being cash back on your in-app purchases in all of your favorite mobile games, specifically Legend of Mushroom. You can get up to 20% cash back with your purchases, and if you go ahead and use my special promo code, you can get another 5% on top of that for a complete total of 25% cash back on all of your purchases. If you've never heard of Aptoide before, or you don't know how to set up your AppCoins wallet, down below in the description box, I have a dedicated video where I walk you step by step on how to download Aptoide, set up your AppCoins wallet, and also enter my promo code to get that additional 5% back. So check out that video, link down below in the description box. If you're familiar with like one of the super duper old school games like Monkey Ball, or there's a lot of mobile games that are kind of specifically like this, where you're going ahead and you're launching something and you're trying to go ahead and hit these other enemies, or you're trying to match colors. There's a bunch of different variations of this. But all you're doing is you're taking your little mushroom guy, you're angling him specifically how you want, and then you're just kind of launching him. And you need to defeat the monsters that are on the board. At the top left corner, you're going to see the little meat icon. That is your stamina. In order to try and get 3 stars on these levels, you need to consume 5 stamina or less. So the less is always the better. And if we take a look in the bottom right corner, we can actually change our mushroom that we are launching. So we got 2 different ones we can choose from right now. We have a fast damage 1, and then we have a damage 2, which is slow. The main difference between these two is basically the fact that the damage 2 one, which is slow, it doesn't really ricochet. So you're not going to get that ricochet damage, but it's going to hit harder. And the damage 1 fast one, you're going to get a lot of ricochet damage, but it's only 1. So the way that I like to look at it is the fast one is equivalent to hitting an enemy twice with the slow one. So you have to kind of take into consideration, like, is there a lot of obstacles that I can bounce off of? Because if there is, then your best bet is going to be using the fast one. If you can hit an enemy at least twice, then it's always going to be better to use the fast one. If you can hit them more than twice, then you're gonna really get a lot of advantage on that. And then if there isn't like a lot of things to bounce off of, then your best bet is going to be using the slow one, because you're not going to get a lot of splash damage or bounce off damage, but it is going to hit a lot harder on that initial hit. This one particularly at level 3, there's a really cool trick where if you line this up right, you can actually hit that like king treasure chest boss like super duper fast. Hit him like 4 times in a row and basically knock him out almost in like, I think it's 1 shot, I think, or maybe it might be 2. If you do it like right there, I think that should be good. Let's see.
you gotta have it lined up perfectly next to that like hole or rock or whatever you want to call it, that icon right there. And there it is, there it is, there it is. See how we hit him like, you know, we pinballed and we hit him like 5-6 times. That is ideally what you need to do on your first hit. And then we got to kind of line it up, and we'll do it again. It's a bit tricky to kind of really like figure it out. It's so precise, the angle and everything, but it has to be lined up perfectly like that. There we go. We got him knocked down. Unfortunately though, it didn't like pinball and hit these ones. That would have been ideal to kind of get some damage off on them. But you're going to have to do this a few times if you don't get it your first try, because it's just kind of like, it's a little bit RNG where you never know kind of where it's going to go. Sometimes you'll do it and you'll kill the enemy the first time, and then you'll also get like some ricochet damage, and then other times it won't. So there's just a lot of variables to this that you have to just kind of like trial and error, try over and over and over again. But ideally, if you can hit him as many times as you can and get all of that like ricochet damage early on in that first try, you should be good. And then we'll go ahead and we'll see. There we go. We got it. So 5 times, not too bad. But as long as you get 3 stars, it really doesn't matter. If you guys and girls enjoyed the video, stay happy, stay safe, and I'll see y'all later. Peace.